Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. We were discussing about the prayer. The question was, we are householders, busy with the maintenance of life, earning. Can we realize God being in the world? Because in our Indian thought, from our childhood we hear that sages, rishis, they left everything, went to the forest, lived in solitude. Day and night they contemplated on the divine and put all their efforts and mind to transcend the nature and go beyond. And they do and did succeed in their venture to enter into the life eternal. Once the body awareness goes off with the spiritual awakening, then our journey will be very fast to reach the transcendental realm. First, somehow we have to struggle a lot for our spiritual awakening. We are physically awake and spiritually sleeping. And spiritual awakening will immediately make you know, just like when you are asleep, you are independent of body totally. The same state of your existence will be with waking state. You are totally unattached, totally different, separate from the body. Not only body consciousness goes off, body will be just like cloth in waking state with spiritual awakening. So, anyway, what is the way? Sri Ramakrishna says, holy company and prayer, unceasing prayer. So we were discussing about the unceasing prayer. Elsewhere, same M. Mahendranath Gupta, the author, he asks another question. Why God has given some people full spiritual consciousness and others he has kept in ignorance? Sri Ramakrishna immediately says, no, it is not so. How clearly he mentions, no, it is not so. One must pray with a sincere heart. If the prayer is sincere, God will listen. Every saint has achieved this state and God has answered their prayers. You cannot do halfway, but that sincere inner prayer to the exclusion of all other thoughts, all other seekings, you must be able to pray, yes, I want that. Just like children weep, throw away everything and weep for a chocolate, you see. We must be able to give up all things at that moment and pray, so that prayer will be answered. The main thing is, through prayer, the inherited limitations that we have, we will be overcoming. For lives after life, we are inheriting so many limitations and so many drives and urges. It is driving us towards the world, driving us to the physical enjoyments. This inner drive is there. For animals and all, only nature is driving. In man there is internal craving also for enjoyment. Nature also drives, and his own habitual, by repeated action, he has acquired, and he has to overcome those two. Means how tough it would be. So these inherited, be clear about this point, inherited tendencies, inherited limitations, you'll be overcoming. This is the essence of Sri Ramakrishna saying. What is meant by God will listen to your prayer and answer. So this is what from deep inside you will see you are freed. You are free to access beyond. Your consciousness is expanding and going to higher and higher levels of consciousness you are reaching. Unless the limitations are removed, you can't expand. You can't raise your consciousness to higher levels of existence. So you go. This is what we see. And yesterday we were discussing about prayer, how it matures into worship, then japa, and then finally meditation. These, you see, in prayer, I am coming in just contact with the divine. I am developing a new faith in God. He is there. His total acceptance of His existence and His compassionate participation in our life to answer our prayers. When I begin to pray, there is a relationship established. Whatever be the relationship, I am going to ask Him for something. Then the second problem comes, second stage comes in our life, that we are growing. Our bondage, our intimacy is slowly growing. In worship, it is becoming, I am giving something. We are becoming closer and intimacy is increasing. Then we see in japa, I want to sit close to God and my intimacy is still becoming more. That giving and taking period also is over. We want to be together. And finally in meditation, he touches God. And in samadhi, he directly experiences in the superconscious state. Just like we enter lower conscious state while sleeping. Of course, that is the door, inner door nature has done for us to reach the same expansion. The individual consciousness merges in the cosmic consciousness. But here we consciously enter into superconscious state of expansion. We raise to the cosmic consciousness level. So this we see the intimacy between you and God is increasing these 4 stages. And this is what we practically experience in our life, and we follow it when we are initiated into spiritual life by our Guru. Especially in Ramakrishna tradition, they give the mantra and a procedure. The procedure consists of prayer, worship, japa, dhyana and atma samarpana. The 5. And 5 are together called upasana. Upasana. Upasana means sitting close to God, at the feet of God. These 5 together means slowly you are moving towards closer and closer to God. Finally in meditation, you are becoming one with Him. Atma samarpana, totally giving oneself entirely, unconditionally, forever to the Lord. There you will experience the divine grace and His total presence and assurance. When Janaka realizes God and comes down, straight away goes to Yajnavalkya. From distance, Yajnavalkya sees Janaka coming in full form, intoxicated with the bliss of the Absolute. The moment he sees Janaka, he says, Abhayam praptosi Janaka. You have attained fearlessness, absolute fearlessness. Whatever we do, everything, you will exactly understand when the old age comes. For everything you have done in your life, they come and stand in front of you. You have to answer everything. Every error you have done in life, everything will come. Like screen, it on the screen, it comes. Why did I do this? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? So, this surrender to the divine washes down all those. These two. And same way, we see in the Vedas, these 4 divisions. Mantra, Brahmana, Aranyaka and Upanishad. The 4 divisions. The first part, mantras. Mantras consist of only prayers and hymns. Hymns and prayers. Prayer, prayer, prayer. Then comes first what did I say? Mantras. Mantras consist of only prayers, mantras. And hymns, praises. Hymns means praises. Then Brahmana. Brahmanas consist of ritualistic worship. Elaborate worship, rites and all that. From mantra we are going to the worship stage. Then Aranyakas. Aranyakas is the next stage of Vanaprastha like. They enter into Aranya. Now in the Aranyakas, they cannot procure things and do the elaborate worship of the Vedas. Making huge altars, this, that. So, whole thing is done mentally. It's called Upasana. In Aranyakas you will see Upasanas, a kind of, all meditations, but oriented towards offerings, loving offerings. It is sometimes abstract, sometimes not abstract. It is personal. Then we finally come to Upanishads, wherein you will get the enlightenment, the state of enlightenment, meditation. Meditation of a different type in which these things are there. So same, mantra, Brahmana, Aranaka, Upanishads. In our this one, Upasana, prayer, worship, japa, dhyana, atma samarpana. So this is, even in the Vedic times, so much importance was given to the prayers. If you see the Rudra, this and any Vedas you take out and see, prayers, oh, Mrityu, see that our children and new generation do not, are not carried away by you. Beautiful prayers. Oh, let none suffer in this world. All these varieties of prayers will you see. We have for sannyasa and all, before sannyasa, we go through the texts of Maharana Upanishad. What a beautiful, just Vinayakanandaji has written the commentary on that. It's in Sanskrit also. What a beautiful thing. Just to read those prayers, it's wonder. Oh, did those people who were jnanis, about 80% were jnanis and 60% at least were realized souls. And those people praying, how much it creates the wonder. So this we see in the Vedic period onwards. When we come down slowly, the Vedic period ends, we see there is a degeneration. The prayer is neglected. An important part of the spiritual life. That is where you come in personal contact with the divine. It begins, your relationship begins with prayer. And when that is left and higher, Sri Ramakrishna says, you see, regarding the Brahmo Samaj people, even small children sit and meditate on Brahman. The Nirguna Nirakara. There is no Akara, there is no Guna. To conceive, even for us, we have trained in science and all that. And to think of timeless, spaceless existence, it is impossible. Mind cannot conceive a thing where there is no time and space. The universe, the whole universe is time and space bound. This is relative existence. What is absolute can never be conceived by human mind. You have to go beyond mind to even understand what Upanishad says about Brahman. You can't conceive because it is timeless. Time is not there, space is not there, existence, what it is, cannot be conceived at all. So, when we are not able to conceive these things, the small children sitting and meditating on Nirguna Nirakara Brahman, you can imagine the various. So, this is what we see. So, for all of us, the Saguna Sakara is essential and is established through prayer. Abstraction can be there, it can be with form or without form, or a particular definite form. But it must have the qualities and personal relationship we must be able to enter, especially in the beginning stages where our divinity is not yet awakened. Gross animalhood is manifesting at every level. Whatever we see with the eyes of animal. What will it give? What enjoyment will it give? How can I possess this? In this only we dwell. What I have, what I can give, how much tapas I can do, how much sacrifice I can do, how much concentration I can do, how much conquest I have done of myself, my senses, my mind. Is my mind under my control? Are my senses under my control? What have I attained in my life? If you check and see, we are at zero. And we speak of Jnana Marga, Bhakti Marga, this, that, and all. So, to overcome all this, the first stage is prayer. And that causes, the prayer is left out. You will see that there is degeneration in the subsequent generations. You slowly start losing the grip on the divine. There is no inner manifestation of the divinity at all. Even to come to human level, it becomes rather difficult. So, the prayer stands first in the spiritual life. Yoga. I am through my existence, I have to meet the existence. Another thing I have to tell you is through intense longing generated by prayer. Go on praying, the internal transformation. Within a year, you will see, if you constantly pray, unceasing pray, there is a tremendous transformation within you within a year's time. There is great transformation. There is some kind of awakening that makes you lose the hold on the world, hold on the enjoyment. Mind becomes free. So this transformation will make you, means what is happening is through prayer you are linking yourself to the divine. More you are concentrating on divine, more you are going closer to divine, your existence independent of body shoots out. Everything that you hold on into this world, anything you see world as worldly object, you are holding firmly this world and you are intensely body. Anything, even a masala dosa, if you see and give value as masala dosa to it, you are body. When you are able to see the divine in it and transcend, that is why we are converted into prasad. To remove the material aspect and give it a shape. One of the brahmachari, he was Bengalis, almost all Bengalis, every Bengalis, compulsorily we can say, is non-vegetarian. And one brahmachari had come to join the ashrama in those days. Bengalis, they are permitted to eat fish. Even after they take up the brahmacharya oaths and all. These fishes are considered as, just like we consider onion and garlic as non-vegetarian, they consider fish as vegetarian. So that fish eating is not prohibited. It is offered to the divine God in almost all shrines they offer. And when it is Kali worship, they give the bali and offer it to the Divine Mother, cook and eat as prasad. It's called Mahaprasad. That from Kali Ghat, the prasad comes to the Maharaj. Shivanandaji Maharaj will be there. And then it will be given to all people. And the prasad we just mother's prasad. And for South Indians they don't give. They give chana, milk product, and curds. Only Bengalis are permitted to eat. And Bengalis are not permitted to eat outside Bengal anywhere. So when it was given, he says, I have given up non-vegetarian. Maharaj says, how are you telling you have given up? It is not meat, it is prasad. To remove that material aspect and bring the divine aspect, we offer it to God. How that prasad became matter. Matter must become prasad. In one temple, one dog went inside the sanctorium, in the Garbhagudi. And the pujaris chased it, this, that and all. Now pujaris are not willing to go inside the temple because dog has entered. And now they want to purify the god. By dog entering into shrine, does God get purified or dog gets purified or God gets impured? They want to purify God now. The God will be brought out and then given so many abhishekas, this, that and all. Purificatory process of God. Then actually dog entering into it, it is meritorious act. Even humans are not allowed properly inside the shrine. And the dog has gone and touched the image and come away. All pujaris must have run and paid pranams to the dog, which has entered into a shrine. But we think otherwise. We want to purify God now. Does God become impure or dog becomes purified? So this is the where we have to transcend the limitations and where we have to apply our mind properly. So here what I wanted to tell is, we are getting closer to God, you are less the body. Closer to the world, you are intensely body. To be body is something heinous. There is nothing lower than to be a body. We are spiritual existence. We are Atman. And to call myself as matter, what else is there? What lower stage is there than to call myself a man or a woman or a body or a child or old age? So when you start praying to God and developing, you become less and less body. The more the intimacy with God, because my existence independent of body stretches forward to touch God, and I become less and less body. This is one part. And with longing for God, you get detached from subtle and causal body. Important part. Holy Mother also insists on prayer. Almost all direct disciples and almost all saints insist on prayer, because ultimately this prayer, longing of the heart, this is called abhinivesha. The first, when the individual consciousness is formed and enters into Prakriti, it is Chaitanya, Shuddha Chaitanya, a drop of spark of Chaitanya that has emerged out of excessive bliss in the Absolute. Just like in Upanishad, he explains it as Vispulingaha, sparks. When a red hot iron is hit, keeping it on the anvil by the blacksmith, the sparks come out. These sparks are called Vispulinga. Just like if you feel so happy, you start laughing, you see. Excessive joy makes you laugh. Similarly, excessive bliss in the Absolute throws out the sparks, and those sparks enter into, as Jivatman, Mama Ivamsho Jivaloke, into this time and space bound relative existence. From the absolute existence, the sparks enter. And as they come, they are Chaitanya. They are pure consciousness. Chaitanya, Shuddha Chaitanya. There is no blemish of any type. But the moment it is separated from the Absolute, itself it feels the Alpatva. It has, as if the emperor has lost his empire and become a beggar. Suddenly, overnight. Bombing. The king is made into beggar. So like that, infinite ocean of consciousness, a drop of water becomes ice. The ice feels itself separate from the rest of the water. Till it became ice, it was one. After it becomes ice also, there is nothing except water in it. Same water is there. But it feels separate. This feeling separate makes it immediately hold on to, just like a drowning man holds on to anything that is available to him. As soon as it enters into Prakriti, it holds on to Manashashtani Indriyani Prakritisthani Karshati, the 5 sense organs and mind. And this grip, it will not leave till it realizes God. This is called Abhinivesha. Nivasa it has become. This is called Abhinivesha in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Abhinivesha. Clinging to life. This is clinging to life, that one. At causal level, causal level is the ignorance that it has accepted that is the alpa. It is bhauma. How it became alpa? That ignorance, the acceptance itself has created that ignorance. And that ignorance is the cause of this, holding on to the Prakriti. The moment it holds on to senses are outgoing and mind, it never turns inward. It doesn't look at the who am I. It looks at the where is the object of enjoyment. The moment it holds on, because senses are paranchikani vyatranat swayambhuhu tasmat parang pashyati nantaratma. So it doesn't see inside, it sees outside. And he stretches itself in the nature. Nature provides him because Ichha Shakti is there, Kriya Shakti is there, Jnana Shakti is there. Jnana is external Jnana. Ichha Shakti is where is the object? I want to enjoy, I want bliss, Ananda, I want peace, I want freedom. So it holds on. It's the intense desire creates that body or physical body also. Now, the moment it touches the world, it sees apple there. Oh, it will give me sukha. It will catch. And then the moment it starts eating, it sees it is dukkha only. It has come Vyagramukha. Gomukha Vyagra. Vyagra has come in Gomukha. You think it is cow and then go near. It will eat you. So it is, dukkha has come to you as in the form of sukha. Then you will hear it. The kriyas began. Karmic cycle began. Karma. This karma goes on again. Now this body, now you develop the tendencies, momentum, running after this, running after that, here, there. The senses are there, you see, and mind, it acquires momentum to run into the world, rush into the enjoyments, hold things and all. Now, this is this momentum, then finally it becomes frightened. It has no grip to that. Finally, suppose it commits suicide also. Last thing what it does is unable to bear. Suicide, only physical body is gone. The inside subtle body and causal body is as it is, all the samskaras. Same, it will go elsewhere and create the same, another body, another same atmosphere, same situation. With extra of committing the suicide. One more burden. So this inside is as it is. Outside alone, cover only went away. In suicide, nothing has gone. Same vasanas are inside. You have created your vasana. You are the maker of your destiny. So you have done this. And this becomes loose only through prayer. The intense prayer with a longing heart will release this. First when you came, thousands, millions of lives before, when you came into this Prakriti, how you felt that grip is loosening. You are becoming again the God. You are becoming yourself. You are getting the lost identity back. Each time you pray with a loving heart, each time you pray with a longing heart, your grip on this world is loosening. Your grip on the eternal is becoming stronger. Abhinivesha is going away. You understand? Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.